Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher Around. Today we're checking out 3 new heroes on the test server. They're going to be coming to the game very soon. And they are very unique, and it's very exciting to be seeing these heroes come in. You'll understand as soon as we start going over them. Anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so let's start finding these heroes. I actually am going into this completely blind. I'm not even sure which heroes are new, to be honest with you. I know the names. I know one of the names is Vixera, Nastya, and Vorn are being added to the test server, and I think Numira, that's the one here already. We already know about this one. I think they called her the female Yolvar, because she basically is a female Yolvar, but she definitely has some poisons, and these heroes all seem to be kind of focused on poisons, which is very interesting, and kind of like, it's like finally we got some poisons coming into the game. This is important, you know. Poisons and burns and bleeds, these are all ways you can do damage to enemies or bosses specifically without having to have like really OP gear. So we'll see if that comes to truth when we actually get to test these heroes and see what happens here. Alright, so I think we're coming up on the first one. Yes, here he is. He's a Piercer, Esotericist faction, Vorn, the Shackled Horror. Okay. Alright, so he has single target attack, continuous damage, ally buff, offensive, dispel. So he's going to be able to remove buffs off of the Aegis phase on Epoch 2, which is really cool. And he's doing a lot of poisons. Okay, it says, first off, let's go into the hero details before we get too excited about that. It looks like he has like a normal mage, or actually like a normal marksman range. Attack is 4291, that's pretty decent. HP is 13, Defense 99, magic resist 1006, cost is at nice at 16. Attack interval is 2.0, that's pretty normal for a marksman. Everything here seems pretty normal. Even the rage regen is pretty standard. Okay, so onto the talent. Can inflict 2 types of poison on the target. When dealing damage by the basic attack, has a 33% chance to inflict 1 stack of poison, and a 33% chance to inflict 1 stack of a different poison. So this one says it's a 5% continuous magic damage per second, stacking up to 10 times. Poison effects from different sources can coexist. And this one says, well, I think it says the same thing. So if it's a different poison, I think it's saying that it can put another stack going on there. So you have the main stack of poisons, and then you can put another stack of poisons on there. So you're doing dual poisons. When poison effect expires from the hero's attack target, the hero gains 1% attack increase for each stack of poison expired from this target for 15 seconds, up to a 20% increase. Alright, so when the poisons fall off the target, you get an extra 20% maximum. So if you have 10 stacks in each one of the poison stacks that he's inflicting, you're going to get a 20% increase in attack for 15 seconds after that. So I'm assuming that's going to be after the ultimate. I don't know when the poison's going to be activated yet. Basic attack is very basic, deals 100% damage to one enemy, goes up to 120. Let's go into the passive here first. Deals 3 instances of 70% damage and inflicts 2 types of poison on the target. For each stack of poison on the target, increases damage dealt to them by 1%, up to 30% increase. So as the poisons are going up, he's getting more and more damage. Each time successfully inflicting or refreshing poison reduces the skill's cooldown by 1 second. It's a passive that's on auto. Yeah, so it can definitely come down a lot faster, but it only lasts for 2 seconds. Increases damage, or the other passive is Mind of Hatred. Increases damage dealt to shielded targets by 30% to shielded targets. I guess if you have Piercer faction have shielded targets. I think the Esotericist faction trials might have shielded targets. I don't know, that's weird. I wonder if the Abyss shield counts as a shielded target. I'm not sure. Apply shield break to 2 allied units with the highest attack on the battlefield each time the ultimate is cast. Okay. Each time the ultimate is cast permanently gains 10% magic resistance penetration, stacking up to 3 times. Wow, this guy. Okay, so what's the shield break? Increases damage dealt to shielded targets by 30%. This has to be for Abyss. It has to be for Abyss. I can't imagine it not being for Abyss. The shield break thing. He's he plays fine the shield break to 2 other ally units. Does it go up? Hero max stacks of magic res penetration is +1. Damage dealt by the hero to shield targets +10%. No, it looks like it stays at 2%. Or 2 allied units, so with the highest attack. So if you make your magic damage dealers higher attack, maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's really weird. On the ultimate, Unshackled Frenzy on a standard range, but it is on auto, but it's really cheap. Dispels up to 1 buff from the target, then basic attack turns into 3 consecutive strikes, dealing 3 instances of 70% damage and inflicting 2 types of poison on the target. For each stack of poison on the target, increases damage dealt by 1%, up to a 30% increase. Wow, lasting for 20 seconds? Man, I can't wait to see what these poisons do. I'm definitely testing these guys out on Abyss. There's no way we're not going to be testing these guys out on Abyss. Either way, he's going to be doing really well for Semra as well for that, with that offensive dispel, the ally buffs with the shield break. Although I don't think that Semra has a shield of any kind that I can remember. But either way, all that continuous damage is insane. Awakenings. Awaken level 1. Apply shield break to 3 allied units with the highest attack. So instead of being 2 units, it's going to go up to 3 units. Awaken level 2 is attack plus 300. Awaken level 3. Flesh Warp can be cast 2 consecutive times. I believe that's the... yeah, that's the auto passive with the poison stacks. So it can just go on, hit, and then hit again. It's kind of crazy. Penetration plus 5%. Enemy, or Awaken level 5 is going to be enemies inflicted with poison deal 25% less damage to the hero. So it's just to him. Each time the hero deals damage to a poison target, restores 1% HP for the hero. Okay, so if he's taking a lot of like continuous damage, you know, you could put some poisons out. Or he will have poisons out. There's no way he's not going to. And he's going to be healing himself with those poisons essentially. Oh my goodness. So this guy, he seems insane. I'm kind of speechless the way he sounds. Redeployment time is normal cost is 16. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he looks kind of funny. His face looks kind of fly-ish in there. He just looks like a fat guy with elf ears. I don't know. His fingers bend back too far. What's he got hanging down here? Just chains. Okay, so he's basically shackled and pulling around weights. He has no legs. I just realized that. Alright. Well, let's move on to the next hero. We have 2 more to go over here. I think the next one is a Piercer Lord. Yes, or not a Piercer Lord, an Esotericist Lord. I'm sorry. Nastya. I hope I'm saying that right. Nastya is a mage, magic damage. And look at that. More poisonings. So, very cool looking unit, I think. I'm trying to think what this reminds me of. Well, usually when they have these things behind them like that, they usually have stacks that they kind of stack up behind them and do some kind of buff at the end of it, or as they get higher and higher, kind of like Ingrid or Praetus even. There's a horror flick or something that this reminds me of. Actually, it kind of reminds me of a hero in Raid. I forget her name, but she has this kind of armor on. Not exactly the same, but same idea. Alright, so hero details. Max level. Looks like that's the range, standard mage range. Single target attack. Continuous damage from the poisons, obviously. And ally buffs. Really low HP at 12.3k. Attack is really nice at 5300. Defense 888. Magic res is 2769. Cost is 25. Whoa. Block is 1. Redeployment time is 60. The cost, you don't really have to worry about that sometimes. It really depends on if you're going to place the hero or not. If you're going against bosses, usually you don't have to worry about cost. But on normal stages, you do. Attack interval is standard at 2.6. Attack speed 100. Great. Blah, 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 blah. This is all very standard. Rage Regen is 14, 10, and 6. Standard stuff. Is it Iron Maiden? She's Nastya, the Iron Maiden. Isn't there a hero or a champion in Raid Shadow Legends called the Iron Maiden? Anyways, I don't remember. Talent has a 40% chance to inflict 40% acute poisoning and 1 stack of poison when dealing damage. Acute poisoning is going to be increases all poison and toxic surge damage taken by 40%. Are you kidding me? So if you get her, obviously poisons are now viable 100%. Gonna last for 10 seconds, and it has a 40% chance to inflict 40% acute poisoning. Oh my gosh. And 1 stack of poison when dealing damage. When receiving direct damage from enemies, inflicts 40% acute poisoning and 1 stack of poison on the target. So when she's attacking, she has a chance to inflict it, and when she's being attacked, she has a chance to inflict it. So it seems like this is just gonna be up. I'm assuming 10-second duration. The poisons are for 10 seconds as well. They stack up to 10 times, so every time she gets hit, the more she gets hit, I think the more she's gonna put poisons out. We'll see here. We'll check out the Lord ability in just a minute and do a little comparison to the other ESO Lords. Magic attack. It deals 100% magic damage to one enemy, prioritizing the one with the highest HP. So she has HP enemy prioritization. That makes it so if there's a boss in the stage that you're going against, she's definitely going to target that boss, even if there's other enemies coming down. It does go up to 120%. The first passive is Macabre. Am I saying that right? Fate. Anyway, each time poison is successfully inflicted, deals true damage equal to 10% attack 1 time. For every 1 stack of poison on the target, increases the true damage on this hit by 1%, up to a 20% increase. Okay, very, very nice. And it's going to be actually go up to a 25% increase, and damage multiplier increase cap is going to go up by an extra 10%. Okay. Apocalypse Rising gains poison immunity each time successfully inflicting poison or refreshing it 6 times. Increases the hero's attack by 4%, stacking up to 7 times. Stack cap is going to go up to 10 times. Oh my gosh. Poison immunity. Immune to poison cannot be dispelled. So who poisons? I guess there's got to be heroes out there or enemies out there poison. I'm not aware of them. Ultimate Venomous Hatred. Deals 260% damage 1 time to 1 enemy with the highest HP in range, and inflicts 1 stack of poison and magic res reduction with each hit. Okay, so there's not a lot of heroes that do magic res reduction, and especially not a lot of them that do a 30% drop. It's very limited. For every 1 stack of poison on the target, increases the ultimate's damage by 1%, up to a 30% increase. This is just interesting how these guys are going to synergize like this. Okay, onto the Lord skill. This is going to be the interesting part here. Esoteric Curse 3. Increases faction team members' basic attributes by 15%. This is normal. Reduces faction team members' skill cost by 25%. This is also normal for the ESO faction. Increases faction team members' damage against targets inflicted with debuffs by 5% per debuff, up to a 40% increase. That's not normal. So they're going to get an extra 40% damage buff. Let's look at the ESO faction. Let's look at the other lords quick. If I can actually remember. So we have Cyrus. Just like this, it's easier. Oh, no, come on. So we have Cyrus. Reduces faction's cost. And this effect, when the ally is defeated or retreats, increases damage to other faction team members by 25%. So Cyrus is giving you a 25% increase in damage. Nova's going to give you an increase in rage by 30%, and then this one is going to just be absolutely ridiculous, and it's mostly focused on bosses, but still it's going to go up to a 40%. And we do have some units on the team now that are doing some unique boss damage. We have Malric. He's another one that's just added not too long ago. And when we have Init is in there as well. Single target bosses. We have the new hero as well here. That one not so much. Falcia, you can take advantage of that 40% damage increase, which is going to be pretty major because she's doing a ton of damage. Alright, so now let's check out these awakenings. I'm sure it's crazy. Each hit of the ultimate inflicts stun on targets with poison. When activated, applies poison immunity to all allies within 2 tiles. The stun is probably going to be pretty nice if you bring her into APOC. I don't know if it's Apocalypse 2. You know, maybe we can use her for the second team. A lot of people are using Praetus already, but if you don't have a lot of good stun options, she's going to be awesome for that, especially if you're bringing an ESO team. Awaken 2 is attack plus 300, increases faction team members' penetration by 5%. Awaken 3 is if only one target exists in range, increases acute poisoning inflicted by target by talent to 70%. Oh my goodness. 70% extra increased damage from poisons. Okay, penetration is plus 8%. Awaken level 5 is deals 25% increased damage to targets inflicted with poison. So just enough. They're really good awakenings. I want to say the awaken level 3 is going to be ideal here. You really want to stack up some poisons, especially. I wonder how this might work in arena as well with the ESO faction. Even the single target doing all that passive damage, just like going crazy. I think it's going to be pretty good. Now we have a new unit here. Also, it's going to be an epic lord. So another ESO lord. And of course, her name is Vixera, and she's the Breath of Decay. So she's obviously going to be doing some poison damage here. And let's go over the hero details really quickly here. Max level, standard mage range. HP is at 8500, so a little low. Attack is 3720, standard for an epic mage. Defense is 604. Oh, that kind of sucks, it's a little low. Magic res is 1917, cost is 18. Block is 1, redeployment time is 60. Attack level is 2.6. And everything else seems pretty standard here, with the Rage Regen auto starting at 14, going on 10 and 6. So, let us read the talent. Basic attack has a 40% chance to inflict poison. Okay, it's a pretty high chance. Each time the hero inflicts 1 stack of poison on enemies, permanently increases the hero's magic res penetration by 1%, up to 30% increase. So if she's doing some poison damage, this isn't helping anybody else out at the moment, but it's definitely going to be helping her out. And the basic attack deals 100% damage to one enemy. Okay. First passive, well, first and only. Endless suffering. When receiving direct damage from enemies, there is a 30% chance to inflict poison on the target enemy and deal an extra 120% damage to them. Alright, so extra poisons. Good. Deals 350% damage 3 times, and it's a manual. Cost is at 600, so it's relatively low. It inflicts 2 stacks of poison each time, and these are the standard 5% poisons. And now let's check out the Lord skill. Increases faction team members' basic attributes by 10%, reduces faction team members' skill costs by 15%. So she's pretty standard with the other epics. I'm gonna say, what's his name, Raiden. I think he's got pretty much the same exact Lord skill here, exactly the same actually. You know, it'd be interesting if they would actually just add, like, you know, a 10% increase in damage from all esotericist faction allies if there's poisons on the target or something like that. So it's not quite as good as the legendary, but it still has something unique as the epic. Guys, I think that's all I have to share with you. I want to say, like, which one am I most excited for? Obviously, it's going to be the Lord here. But second, that, what's his face here? I can't remember the names now. Vorn. He reminds me of some heroes in Raid Shadow Legends, actually. All these poisons he's going to be putting out, even though it's single target, they're insane. They're going to be insane, I guarantee you. He's doing 2 stacks of 10, or 2 different debuffs of 10 stacks of poisons. So he's going to be able to probably keep up 20 stacks of poisons pretty much full on. And that's actually pretty insane. But yeah, definitely have some crazy heroes coming up. I'm curious to know what you think. Which ones are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments section down below. Also, if you're interested in seeing these heroes yourself, they're not going to be into the game, or you're not going to be able to preview them in game for a while. On prospector.gg, if you go over there and you check out the heroes, right in the main page, you can search their names on there. And I'm going to get these heroes added to there as soon as possible. But it is going to have a warning on there that says test server. And some of these descriptions might change as they get closer to being released to global. And speaking of that, there's also a few minor changes I know need to be changed. And that is A message from the devs. We found that there are currently 2 description errors for the 2 new heroes we sent today. We are working on fixing these as quickly as possible. The first one is Vorn. The number description is incorrect and should be 2. Okay, so that is already updated, so we're good there. Nastya, the passive skill Macabre Fate. Macabre, I don't know, I look up how to say that word. I don't hear it very often. It has an incorrect upgrade description. The correct value are 2% and 3%. Okay, so that is also accurate as well. Really seems to be a bug with the acute poisoning on Nastya, where she's not triggering the normal acute poisoning, increasing all poison and poison explosion damage by 40%, and they're currently working on a fix. So I might do more of a Nastya test starting tomorrow, and I think that's when these hero releases are all going to start coming out as well. Also, if you want early access to these videos when I release them, consider getting yourself a membership. It's very cheap. I think it's $2.99 I have it set at, and all my videos that are being released that are going to be, I want to say, signature videos will always have a 6-hour leeway where members will get early access to see these videos. But anyways, don't forget to check out prospector.gg, join the Discord, come hang out and chat. Have a good one. I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep digging.